Possibly. Red lights are on. They go out now. Let's see what Mike Cook can do in this race. Well, he at the back is trying to find a way around the outside of some of his competitors. Looks like it's going to be Rick Kerry that is going to lead into the first corner, or is it going to be the Brad Sheehan car from the fourth position on the grid? Now, is Kerry that's got away quite well? No, it is Sheehan as they arrive down at Village that's nosing into the lead. A lock up a little bit further back. That's from the Lee Pearcey number 61 car. He went very well in wet conditions at Castle Combe earlier in the year, and Kerry there all over the curb has dropped back to fourth place.
I was watching Cut, who was halfway up the field on the outside coming into Abbey, and there was contact.
And there he is. He's in the gravel trap. So if it was a gamble to start from the back, it ain't paid off, unfortunately, for Mike Cutt. So there was contact there. He's ended up in the gravel trap. Rick Kerry trying to get third place back here away from the number 26 car of Paul Cook. Well, Paul Cook will know better than anyone what these conditions are like, because he was only racing them about 6 or 7 minutes ago in the MR2s. And look at that, 3 wide for the lead as they come down into the left-hander at the Vale, and it's 47 that goes through to take the lead. That's Niall Bradley. Paul Cook's gone through to second. Losing 2 places there was Brad Sheehan, and a braking for the left-hander. And fourth is Rick Kerry. What an outstanding start to this race.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And here comes Rick Kerry with the V8 bowling up the inside. He's not close enough to into Abbey to wrest third place back. But Bradley, Cook, Sheehan and Kerry are our leaders.
They certainly are, as they head over the line to start lap number 2 of this race. I've said it's a 20-minute race, so slightly longer than the ones that we've had already today. And there they go. Oh, and that was up the inside. That was always going to end in contact, and I think it did, between Brad Sheehan and Paul Cook. They've both gone a little bit wide. It allows Niall Bradley to make his escape somewhat out in front, and it has brought, actually, Lee Pearcey's managed to get through into fourth place as well, and we know he goes well in the wet, the ex-single-seater racer.
Yeah, indeed, and I saw the pink car get very, very out of shape coming onto the hangar straight. Such was his speed. And there's a big slide out over the curbs in the chase group, the blue car.
Look like Jim Benson, and he's battling for the lead there with Ben Pearson. Ignore car 3, that's Kaz Singh. He's in one of the M1 class cars, but the next 2 cars are the 2 class 6 leaders. Ben Pearson, number 25, and Jim Benson in number 59. So those are very close. And Lee Pearcey has trying to swing past the 28 car of Brad Sheehan here to go up into third position. He's quite wide there going through the farm curve, and yes, he has to slot back in behind Sheehan now, with Rick Kerry and Mike Eustace right behind him in 5th and 6th positions. It's letting Niall Bradley and Paul Cook get away a little bit though. There's Pearcey once again, the only driver apart from Bradley and Sheehan to win a race outright this season. Bradley has won 3, Sheehan has won 4 so far. There's some damage there from someone's car, a yellow flag waving because of that. Looks like a bit of a splitter or something has come awry, and there is Kerry trying to go back up the inside of Piss, a bit too far back.
There are a couple of bits of debris there in the track on the approach to Stowe. It looks like flat pieces of and there comes Kerry up the inside. He's grabbed a place back from Lee Pearcey in Team FSR car. That was into Vale. And those times now coming down. 13s for Niall Bradley, 1:13.14. New fastest lap of the race. Cook only a tenth or so slower.
Yeah, the pole position time was a 1:12.67, so they're only about half a second off the times that they were doing this morning, and they are underneath the lap record as well, which was a 1:14.27 to Rick Kerry. So Niall Bradley now has the new lap record. So this scrap going on still for 4th place between 61 Pearcey and 2 Rick Kerry. Kerry, who spent some time racing the British Touring Car Championship, back ahead of Pearcey once again. Still these yellow flags though down the hang straight into Stowe, which does take away an overtaking opportunity. Double waved yellows now, so I wonder if there's perhaps a marshal has been onto the circuit to try and retrieve that bodywork. It's not there anymore, and the yellow flags have gone in as well, so that's good news. As Pearcey in 5th position then chases after Kerry. You can see, or you could see on the previous shot, the 3 cars ahead of him. can tell you that there's still a good battle going on in Class 6 as well between 25 Ben Pearson and 59 Jim Benson.
Yeah, that's a battle for 9th place out on the circuit. That car of Rick Kerry, that snorting V8, sounds fabulous, doesn't it? And there he is.
Yep, certainly does sound good. So it looks like the conditions are. With Paul Cook's got the new lap record now, 1:13.05. He's just done that. He took 3/10 out of Niall Bradley's lead that time as well, and I think the top 5 all in the 1:13. So all of them underneath the old lap record held by Rick Kerry. As Kerry doing his best to fend off Lee Pearcey now. Pearcey carries a good deal more speed, it would seem, onto the hanger straight this time. Is right in the toe of Kerry, but possibly this is where Kerry's V8 power tells, and he is just able to ease away from Pearcey.
That Class 6 lead has changed to Jim Benson ahead of Ben Pearson, incidentally. But here they come, Rick Kerry with the 1 Series V8 down into the Vale, hard on the brakes, down the gearbox, lock up from Pearcey behind him, looking for a neat exit to get maximum speed up the straight. White and green car is your leader, that's Niall Bradley. Lead 2.26 seconds. Fastest lap down to a 1:12.85, so Niall Bradley has reduced that record still further.
That's a very impressive time indeed, as we're watching this battle still for 4th and 5th place between Kerry and Pearcey. Kerry back in front once again, so constantly changing. So Bradley still leading by 2.26 seconds from Paul Cook. So watching the 80 car of Mike Eustace, he's all on his own now. He's quite a long way clear. He's about 10 or 11 seconds clear of Wayne Lewis, who's in 7th position. There is Wayne now, and he's got behind him Cassing. And then this is the battle for the Class 6 lead. You just saw it going into shot there, just behind Wayne Lewis. And that looked like it was still Jim Benson, the 59 car, ahead of 25.
Pearson trying to get up the inside, wasn't he, in the darker car? And you're right that Benson has prevailed for the time being. It's getting smoky, isn't it?
It is.
And it's not just bodywork on tyres.
It's not. That seemed to come on all of a sudden as well, didn't it?
Yep.
As well. So that's potentially something for Wayne Lewis to be worried about, and also Kaz Singh, who's following not too far behind, about 2 3/4 behind him. Just be mindful of that grey smoke ahead of him. So that's Wayne Lewis, number 7, heading down to Village once again. But you can just see in the back of that shot the Class 6 lead. That is number 8, Bill Reddrop. He's now fallen behind number 40, Sean Jackson, in the battle for 18th.
The wing's hanging off the yellow car, isn't it? At the head of that group, the front wing is flapping at the bottom, where it's been tattered.
Try and get a look at the number on that one. It is the number 55 car. That is Raheem Ballou.
He's lost the front valance as well, hasn't he?
I think his might have been the bodywork that was in the track down at Stowe.
Yeah, no front valance on that car.
And look at him, he's just ahead of the Dan Harborough car, the E30. There's not too many of the E30s on the grid, and they look absolutely fantastic.
Great looking things in E30 still.
Yeah, no, it's kind of timeless, isn't it?
Aged really well.
Yeah. So you imagine that Raheem Ballou had some contact a few laps ago down at this part of the circuit to dislodge some of his bodywork. But he's still pushing along in 15th position overall, just ahead of Dan Harborough. Harborough, one of the Class 6 winners, Ballou running in the M2 class. This is the battle for the lead in Class 6. 59, Jim Benson. 25, Ben Pearson. It's been Ben Pearson that has taken 4 class wins so far this season, and Jim Benson has also had 4, but hasn't had the consistent results of Ben during the course of this season so far. But these two drivers proving themselves very evenly matched indeed. You can't even see Ben Pearson's car there because it's hidden right behind The blue car looking a bit further up the road.
It's just popping out from behind in the slipstream.
Yeah. There they go. He's up the inside, Ben Pearson.
Yep.
Into Stowe corner, and I think he's done it. He's made that work. He's gone through into the lead of Class 6 and
he's
9
retaken
overall.
it, in fact, because he was leading at the start of the lap. Then Benson got him, and now he's back ahead. So that class lead has changed.
Lap times have been going out again. I think there is a bit of rain falling. Now I can just about see it on the cameras, can't you? Just a bit of light rain in the air, dampening the track once again. But lap time certainly just well, they're working. Some of them are going out more than others. There's Wayne Lewis. He's certainly got his wipers on, hasn't he? And look how the Class 6 cars have now got more on terms with the Class 2 car of Wayne Lewis and the Class 1 car, the M1 car of Kaz Singh. And that possibly indicates that the conditions are coming to the Class 6 cars, which are less powerful.
And up front, whether it's been traffic or otherwise, Paul Cook has halved, or in fact reduced by 2/3 the lead of Niall Bradley. It's down to just under 0.6 of a second.
Look at this, there's back markers, some of the Cup class cars involved as well here as Jim Benson and Ben Pearson try to find their way through. It is Pearson ahead at the moment. Marshall's waving their blue flags to warn the slower cars that there's quicker cars coming through. And there's Paul Cook now, and has Paul got the lead? That's Abby. Yes, he has. Paul Cook has taken the lead. I think, no, he's not. Sorry, I was wrong. It's Brad Sheehan there. But you've actually got the three leaders now pretty much together. So it's Niall Bradley by 1.17 seconds at the start of the lap from Paul Cook. The gap having gone out again by 0.6. But Sheehan closed the gap to Cook by 0.6 that time through.
Yeah, Sheehan in the whites and pink car, with almost kind of NASCAR-esque. Kerry all over the grass coming onto the Hangar Straight out of Chapel. That's it's Chapel on the Grand Prix circuit, the link on the International that we're on. And there coming around the outside is 28, which is Brad Sheehan, goes round the outside of Paul Cook. But on the exit of the corner, who's going to prevail?
Let's wait to see what happens at the Vale, and it is Cook. So Cook hangs on to the second place there, but that little bit of scrapping has slowed them up slightly.
Sheehan's car picks up its front wheel through that corner, which is quite interesting. It lifts off the deck.
Right, traffic for the leaders to deal with, and that has cost Niall Bradley in the lead 0.4. The gap down to 3/4 of a second now. And traffic really is a feature of these BMW Car Club Championship races. There is a variety of different specifications of car, and they're slightly longer races at 20 minutes as well, so the traffic does come into play. The Cup class, by the way, is still being led by Carl McMillan, who's been the class of that field so far this year. But there's the battle for the overall lead. Niall Bradley in the 47 car out front from 26, Paul Cook. Cook has not yet had a win this season. He's had 3 third place finishes during the course of the year so far. And problems for Brad Sheehan there. Problems for Brad Sheehan. He has slowed dramatically. So from 3rd place, it looks like he's going to pull off. Can we see what might be wrong there? Nothing obvious, I don't think. So possibly something internal. The issue for Brad Sheehan, and that's a great shame because he was the man 3rd in the championship coming into this weekend. As Bradley goes over the line again with 6 and a bit minutes to go, he's just lapping the Dan Harborough car there, so he's lapped up to and including 17th position, make that 16th position now as he goes past Sean Jackson. He's picking them off all the time now. Oh, and a spinner. Oh, it's Harborough that spun in the E30. He's pointing back in vaguely the right direction again. Hopefully he's not picked up any damage there. So Paul Cook, we can see on screen, the number 26 car, same number that he races in the MR2 Championship, the driver from Stonesfield, getting past the number 79 back marker there, which is Sergei Meniv, and he continues his chase of Bradley, but he has lost a place to Rick Kerry in all of this, hasn't he? And now has Paul Cook got problems? I've missed Kerry getting through, to be honest with you, but he clearly has done, and Paul Cook now has Lee Pearcey all over the back of him.
Yeah, I think the track's coming back to them again, isn't it? And that's allowing the power of that 1 Series V8 of Rick Kerry to make its presence felt. Cook under pressure from Pearcey now.
Yeah, Pearcey, the Castle Coombe winner. The third of the 3 different overall winners we've had this season. There is a board that's gone out. I don't think that can be the last lap board just yet, because it is a 20-minute race rather than a 15-minute race. This one, as Pearcey carries more speed through Abbey, and can he attack Paul Cook then on the way down to Village this time? Looked like he might be able to. Just saw that in the background there. Paul Cook, I think, just about managing to hold on. We're watching Niall Bradley though, the race leader. 3.13 seconds he was to the good at the start of the lap. Yeah, the previous lap, Paul Cook dropped about 6 seconds. He did a 1:19 compared to the 1:13s that he's been capable of. But Bradley, with blue flags waving not at him but at back markers, heading down to Stowe Corner on lap 13.
I wonder if Cook went the opposite way on tyres and he's run out of grip.
That is possible. It's something we do hear drivers talk about in these BMW Car Club Racing Championship races. Here's the 47 car coming through for the 13th time, and we're going to get the checkered flag a little bit early for some reason, I'm afraid. So checkered flag goes out to Niall Bradley, then he takes the win from Rick Kerry in second place. In third place is going to go to Lee Pearcey. So Lee Pearcey right at the end has got into the podium positions. He's squeezed ahead of Paul Cook, who takes fourth place in the end. Mike Eustace, it is about 13 seconds back, takes 5th. Cass Singh, it is number 3 that takes 6th position. And then the rest of them will be coming through. There is Jim Benson, and it looks like he is clear of Ben Pearson. Pearson's not the car alongside him, it was the car just in the background there. And that's the number 7 car for Wayne Lewis going across the circuit, and Jim Benson's got caught up in all of that, and that means that Ben Pearson has pounced. So I think that was Jim Benson slowing in reaction to Wayne Lewis steaming across the front of his car. So Ben Pearson has gone through to the Classics win, and Jim Benson's car stopped. I wonder if there was some contact between Benson and Wayne Lewis there, because possibly he's picked up some damage, because he's not made it to the checkered flag. Well, Niall Bradley's taken the checkered flag for the second time, but I'm not too surprised because it did go out much earlier than we all expected.
Yes, you might well have had a sort of a clock in his running in his car, and confused by that. Here comes poor old Jim Benson.
The body language wasn't particularly happy body language.
No,
I don't think so. We didn't see the start of that incident with Wayne Lewis going skittering across the grass.
There were 3 cars very, very close together, because Benson still had the class lead coming down into the Vale, and right behind him was Pearson, his rival in 25. Next thing we saw was the car spinning like crazy, and
Wayne Lewis was the third of those cars. So you imagine there must have been a bit of contact there somewhere along the line.
And Jim Benson trudging back.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a transponder in his pocket to trigger the timing. He's a bit late for that.
Chuck it over the finish line, yes. That's disappointment for him. That's more points dropped in the championship. Wayne Lewis wandering over to have a word. Let's see if we can bring you the results of that race then. And it was a win for Niall Bradley. 2.17 seconds clear of Rick Kerry, so 47 the winner from number 2, Rick Kerry. 61, Lee Pearcey was in 3rd place. 4th to 26, Paul Cook, just pipped at the post. 5th, number 80, Mike Eustace. 6th, number 3, Cass Singh. Ben Pearson winning Class 6 in 7th place overall. Gary Burstow, number 83, took 8th. He won Class M2. Mark Coulmer was 9th, 66, and Colin Whitmore 10th in 35. Paul Travers, Raheem Ballou, Sean Jackson, Clive Watson, Bill Redrop rounded out the top 15. A bit further back, Carl McMillan, 19th in the end, the best of the Cup class cars. And if we look on to the next screen, we will see that the final cars were all 1 or more laps down. Andy Wynne, Paul Laramie, David Morris, Sam Walton, William Lake and Sergei Miniv. So an entertaining race for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship, with conditions changing as we went on there. We see Wayne Lewis on the left and Jim Benson in the middle there, with the marshal on the right, discussing what went on in that incident down there at the Vale on what proved to be the final lap. Cars heading down the pit lane. Niall Bradley being signalled in to the number 1 slot alongside the cars of Rick Kerry and Lee Pearcey. There is the car now of number 47, Niall Bradley, who's yet to get out of the car, but is clambering out, or trying to clamber out now. So we'll head down to Josh Barrett in the pit lane. It's just waiting for Niall Bradley to get ready before we hear from Josh, who's getting his helmet off now, and his balaclava as well, and Niall getting his fourth win of the season, and I think now he probably is ready to speak to Josh Barrett.
Yeah, thanks Ian. Niall Bradley, our race winner. Niall, I'll give you your Runners Garland. A really difficult race that looked, with changing weather throughout.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we opted to change the tyre pressure just before we went out because it was wet, and it was real handful towards the end there because they just expanded too much. But no, really enjoyed that. Really hard work, but I enjoyed it.
There was quite a battle at the start of the race. I saw Paul and Brad as well. I think you were 3 wide at one point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sure whenever we went down and around through the chicane here, I don't know the name of the corner. I think Brad went to defend Paul. I seen a bit of a gap on the opposite side, so I went for the inside, and it worked. It worked really well. But no, good race. Really enjoyed that.
And championship-wise, I don't think Brad finished. He had some kind of issue, so points, that's good for you.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Brad. Don't like seeing anybody not finishing the race. I hope it's not too bad. But yeah, I was leading the championship by 5 points, but if we take drop rounds into consideration, we were neck and neck. So yeah, every point helps at the minute. Yeah.
Well done and good luck later on. So that was Niall Bradley, our race winner. We've got the top 3 overall for this. Second place was Rick Kerry. So our interrupted. Well done, Rick. Second place. So that was.
Yeah, had a fight for it a bit.
This season hasn't quite gone to plan, but it's back on track now.
Yeah, well, I've had sort of quite a few issues with the car, nothing major, but we've had a clutch issue, we had a suspension issue, and it was nice to go test on Friday and actually have a smooth day with everything running right. Put a good time in, but I think I was touched tentative on the first corner, got hit in the back, and then ended up on the outside, sort of like nearly 4 abreast. But that was good to stay with the pack and trying to pick off as and when I could. But yeah, it's nice to be back up the front again.
Obviously, your car very different to everybody else's. Everyone else is the M3. You've got this 1 Series. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, it's a 1 Series with the V8, the E92 M3 V8 engine. Taking a long while to get it where we want it, but it's very different. Sounds different, I think, to the rest of them. It does get a bit of attention. And
do you like having something different, or do you just like this particular type of car?
Well, I used to run a 1 Series when I was other championships before, so I stuck with the 1 Series, even though I had an M3 before. But I suppose I've gone so far down the line with it, you got to try and make it work. But it's very different. But there you go.
I guess you'd prefer it to stay dry, would you, for the race later?
Yeah, I'd like it dry. I mean, I'd like it to either be dry or wet, but not the sort of in between. It's when you're sort of starting on dry and it rains halfway through. But then the change of conditions are the same for everybody, so it could make it good fun.
That's what the conditions seem to be today, isn't it? Well done on second place, Rick Kerry. Then in third place was Lee Pearcey. Third for you, Lee. I guess you'd like a bit more rain, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we've done all right in the rain earlier in the year, but we're working on the car and we're trying to get a dry setup. So we want dry weather, to be honest. We want to run with the guys. We want to get near the guys at the front in the dry. So yeah, the sketchy conditions didn't probably favour our new setup, to be fair. We've probably now got a dry setup and a wet setup. So we're coming. We're getting closer to the front guys. But it was an exciting race. It was good. It was there's cars everywhere and sketchy conditions and the rain and on and off. So, but no, third place. We nicked it on the last lap. So no, we're pleased. Really pleased.
Lots of traffic, like you say. A big circuit though. So is it not too bad round here?
It's not too bad. It depends where you catch them. If you catch the back markers in the complex, obviously there's one line you can't get past them, so you're stuck for 3 corners. So it is nice and wide, but if you get them in the wrong place, then yeah, it can be costly. So, but yeah.
You've been back in car racing for a few years now. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's still good. We come back to do a bit with my dad. So this year, doing it on my own. Obviously, me and my dad are always here together. We do it as a team. there's talk of someone trying to convince me to do an 8-hour endurance on the bikes at Brands GP in October. So we'll see. The levers might come back out for a one-off. But no, enjoying the cars at the minute, and it's a good crowd, a great club. What Neil's put together, and a good bunch of lads and good racing.
Great stuff. Well done on third place. So that was the completion of our morning racing.